The dragon is effortlessly taken down, but Seela hurls his spear, striking Jade's shoulder. However, he instantly heals, catching Sila's attention. Intrigued by her ability, Sila decides to steal Lily's regeneration magic using his mirror of jealousy, which also snatches away her staff. Realizing she can no longer use magic, she watches in horror as Sila destroys her staff. La then notices Sila has a dye mark, revealing that he is a relic created by the ancients. Sila activates his judgment skill, summoning swords to attack, and Jade warns that his friends will die if they are struck. He commands them to retreat, but then provokes the swords into attacking him instead. Lily reminds him that he should only use that skill with a regeneration spell, wondering if he's trying to sacrifice himself. Sila stabs him, but Jade dismisses it as nothing and orders his friends to escape. Stunned by his endurance, Sila continues stabbing him while La and Lily flee. Sila mocks Jade, claiming his friends abandoned him, but Jade remains focused on stalling for time. Lily insists they should help him, but La argues that they are no match for Sila. Suddenly, a monster appears, forcing La to prepare for battle. At the Adventurers Guild, Alina works late with Lyra. Lyra laments that the guild has given up on searching for the executioner, but then notices a glow coming from Alina's necklace. Remembering how Jade once told her that it signals when a party member is in danger, she realizes Silver Sword is in trouble and rushes to save them. Back at the fight, Seela surrounds Jade with swords. Jade feels doomed, but longs to see Alina again, fueling his determination to survive. Meanwhile, Alina reaches the crystal gate but is stopped by guards, who warn that receptionists cannot enter the dungeon. She worries about being exposed as the executioner, but is resolute in saving Silver Sword. Summoning her warhammer, she threatens the guards, forcing them to let her pass. La is sent flying by the monster, and Lily, unable to heal him, feels powerless. Suddenly, Alina appears and effortlessly slays the monster with a single strike. She hands La a drink, but they beg her to save Jade, explaining that he is fighting a dark god capable of using multiple Dia skills. She rushes to the boss's room, finding Jade in a dire state. She calls out to him, but he doesn't respond, making her fear the worst. Seela attacks her with his spear, but she narrowly dodges, earning his respect. He claims it is too late to save Jade. Enraging Alina, she charges him with her hammer, sending him flying, but he recovers quickly and uses his judgment skill to summon swords. She attempts to deflect them, but is struck. As Seela prepares to finish her, Jade shields her. Seela is shocked that Jade is still alive and impales him through the chest, causing a pillar to collapse. Alina rushes to Jade, who reveals that he had fallen asleep but awoke upon hearing her voice. Relieved, she hugs him. She gives him a drink she had while working overtime, joking that it is better than nothing. Excited, he drinks it, calling it an indirect kiss. Seela regenerates due to Lily's stolen skill, prompting Jade to suggest finishing him in a single hit. Seela acknowledges Alina's strength, comparing her to those who created him, yet still believes she is inferior. He reveals that he devoured all his creators, confirming that he was the one who wiped out their ancestors. Surrounding them with swords, Seela prepares to strike, but Jade offers to sacrifice himself to create an opening for Alina. Instead, she smashes the swords and charges at him, but the blades hit her, sending her crashing down. However, she rises, declaring that she will protect Silver Sword and ensure their safe return. Suddenly glowing, she proclaims that she won't let the guild perish in the dungeon and launches Seela backward. Stunned, he realizes she is suppressing him. Desperate, he summons countless swords, but she deflects them with ease, severing his arm. In disbelief that a mere human is stronger than him, he is ultimately cleaved in half. Jade is awestruck by her overwhelming power. Seela attempts to warn her about the other dark gods, but Alina silences him, unwilling to extend her overtime. La and Lily, relieved, rush to Jade, telling him they were deeply worried. He thanks Alina for saving them. She admits she left work to help them and will now have to work overtime again, but she has no regrets. A few days later, Lily's magic returns, allowing her to heal their friends. Glenn enforces a gag order on the guards, ensuring that Alina's secret remains safe. She returns to her usual life, once again working overtime. However, this time, Jade joins her, telling her he recovered because of the drink she gave him, calling it magical. Alina's potion is infused with love, so she smacks Jade when he teases her. However, she asks for his help, explaining that she wants to finish early. Meanwhile, Alina prepares for her lunch break, but an adventurer interrupts her, requesting to accept an urgent quest. She considers ignoring him to enjoy her meal, but decides to assist him anyway. Afterward, as she eats her sandwich, she is annoyed that her break was disrupted. Lyra asks why she didn't refuse, and Alina explains it's because of the Centennial Festival, which lasts 3 days. She shares that she missed it for the past 2 years due to overtime work, but is determined to complete everything on time this year. However, she warns that the festival will be chaotic since adventurers will rush to the guild for special quest bonuses. Lyra becomes nervous, but Alina reassures her by revealing that she wrote a guidebook to help them manage the rush. She even prepared another guide for the festival, emphasizing that they must leave on time on the 3rd day to enjoy the main event. Meanwhile, La practices throwing knives, but Lily insists he should rest, as his body is still recovering. She hands him a potion, which he finds suspicious, but he drinks it anyway. He complains about the awful taste, but admits he feels better. She promises to take care of him. Alina visits a cake shop and notices the last strawberry tart. Just as she's about to order, she sees Lily eyeing it and lets her have it. They eat together, and Lily exclaims how delicious it is, then teases Alina, saying she finally understands why Jade is in love with her. She mentions that La loves grape jelly and wants to buy one for him, making Alina think she is the perfect healer for always considering her friends. However, Lily insists she isn't special, reminding Alina that she was the one who saved them during their last quest. Later, Jade approaches Alina, confessing that he feels lonely since she moved out. She responds that she enjoys living alone and appreciates the guild for covering the repair costs of her home. Alina and Lyra clean the reception hall when Lyra suddenly asks if she likes anyone, pointing out that the festival is a classic date event. Alina denies having romantic interests, stating she plans to enjoy the festival alone. Lyra is shocked, calling her an overtime maniac, and jokes that she has a date with the executioner. Alina wonders if someone is impersonating her, but Lyra clarifies that she's referring to an executioner doll. Suddenly, they hear a commotion and realize that adventurers are swarming the guild hall, even though the festival is still 10 days away. By the end of the day, they are exhausted, but still clueless about what caused the rush. Determined to get answers, Alina decides to ask Jade and Glenn. Meanwhile, Silver Sword trains with an adventurer named Syl, who successfully attacks a wolf monster. Impressed, he asks to join them as an attacker. But when the monster retaliates and knocks him down, Jade orders Lily to heal him. However, she hesitates, remembering a traumatic event, and starts panicking. Jade urges her to hurry, but she casts her spell slower than usual. He instructs Syl to step back while he creates an opening, but Syl recklessly charges in, only to get disarmed by the monster. Just as it prepares to finish him off, Alina arrives and slices the creature in half. Her attack is so powerful that it breaks the hologram generator. She then turns to Jade, saying she has a question, before dragging him away. Syl watches in awe, feeling utterly weak compared to her, and convinced he doesn't deserve to be part of Silver Sword. At the Guildmaster's office, Alina demands to know why adventurers flooded the reception hall. Glenn explains that a rumor has been spreading about a secret quest where adventurers can learn a deer skill. Jade adds that the guild will issue an announcement tomorrow to clarify that the secret quest isn't real, promising to track down the culprit behind the false information. Later, Jade wonders why Lily hesitated during training. La assumes she is unfamiliar with her new staff, so they surprise her with one identical to her old one. She is touched, and they express their gratitude, thanking her for always looking after them. Despite having too much work, Alina continues processing requests during her lunch break. Lyra asks why she is handling quests faster than the other receptionists, suggesting that if she interacts with adventurers more, she will have less paperwork. However, Alina insists she doesn't like using underhanded tactics. Meanwhile, Glenn meets with Silver Sword and compares the rumor spreader to Rufus, who previously told everyone he sought a deer skill, when, in reality, he wanted to revive Sylar. They realize the current culprit may have a similar ulterior motive. The adventurers are being lured into a hidden dungeon, where they will be sacrificed to revive the dark god. Alina questions why the meeting is taking place in her office, and Glenn explains that sensitive matters can't be discussed at the headquarters due to the risk of eavesdropping. Jade adds that while they've traced the rumor's origin, they must devise a plan before taking action. After their discussion, he notices Alina struggling with her paperwork and offers a solution to make it easier. She immediately asks what he wants in return, and he boldly states that he wants to go on a date with her during the festival. She outright refuses, but soon realizes that without help, she won't finish everything before the event. Weighing her options, she decides that sacrificing one day with him will allow her to enjoy the remaining two, so she reluctantly agrees, determined to enjoy the festival this year. Later, Alina joins Silver Sword and is puzzled by their amateurish outfits. Jade explains that the culprit only spreads rumors to new adventurers, so they've disguised themselves to attract his attention. They head to the Forest of Eternity, a beginner-friendly C-class dungeon, and decide to camp near a lake, known as a hotspot for the suspect. That evening, La recalls their last campfire gathering during Lily's training, mentioning that her cigarette skill had just emerged. She admits she used to panic when facing monsters, but Jade reassures her that she has become a dependable healer and urges her to trust herself. Suddenly, a group of men approaches. Pretending to be rookies, they engage with a man named Hates, who claims they can gain strength without training. He shares a secret quest rumor about a relic that grants a deer skill. Jade asks if it's true, then unsheathes his sword, exposing their deception. As the men realize they've been tricked by Silver Sword, Jade questions Hates about Rufus. Hates denies knowing him, claiming he merely heard the rumor elsewhere. Before they can interrogate further, a man attacks Jade, but Alina swiftly strikes back, threatening to kill Hates for spreading the falsehood. Before she can act, Hates and his men teleport away. Jade observes that the attacker only had one arm, and Lily instantly recognizes him as Aiden, a former party member. When he regains consciousness, he furiously calls Lily a murderer, warning her friends that she will abandon them in danger. Alina, unbothered by his words, threatens to kill him. As he attempts to expose Lily's past, she doesn't flinch and silences him with her hammer. Days later, adventurers continue swarming the reception hall, and Alina realizes that the chaos won't subside quickly. Lyra questions why Jade is assisting them, and he casually reveals that he's doing it in exchange for a date with Alina. Lyra is astonished and assumes Alina will retire after marrying him, but Alina quickly dismisses the idea, stating that she doesn't have feelings for him. Lyra is baffled, wondering why she isn't interested since Jade seems like the ideal partner. Alina explains that she simply values her independence and wants to live life on her own terms. Exhausted, she decides to take a break, and Lyra wonders how long she will continue working overtime. Jade assures her not to worry, vowing to stay by Alina's side until the end. Lyra acknowledges Alina's generosity in always helping her at work, but understands that she is used to handling everything alone. She advises Jade to support her no matter what. Deciding to leave them alone, she heads home, while Jade contemplates the need to become stronger. At the guild's auction hall, officials discuss how the executioner managed to defeat Seela and demand Glenn reveal her identity. However, he refuses, determined to respect her desire for a peaceful life. The next day, La and Lily meet at headquarters, where she finally opens up about Aiden. She explains that he was the tank of her first party. During their first boss fight, everything went south, and two teammates were on the brink of death. With limited magic, she attempted to heal both but ultimately failed, leading to their deaths. La consoles her, urging her not to shoulder all the blame, emphasizing that her entire party failed, not just her. He reassures her that he still believes in her. They then find Jade practicing his combat skills, but he suddenly collapses. Concerned, they rush him to the research building, where he reveals that he was attempting to activate two skills simultaneously to boost his power. Shelley, a researcher, arrives and informs him that he has reached Stage 2, warning that reaching Stage 3 could be fatal. However, she encourages him to continue since he makes for an excellent research subject. She then unveils Seela's heart, revealing that it serves as his true body. Its darkened appearance results from countless magical sigils representing the dire skills he acquired by consuming human souls. Sela believes that each soul he consumes grants him more dire skills, making him a serious threat to humanity if he ever approaches the town. Shelley adds that they've received intel on the culprit, describing him as a man in a black robe, but that's all the information they have. The night before the festival, Alina happily celebrates with Jade, relieved that they've finally completed their paperwork. Jade informs her that there won't be a special bonus period this year, so she realizes she can fully enjoy the festival. Excited, she invites him for drinks, and they head to a tavern, enjoying their time together. However, she gets drunk, and when Jade suggests they go home, she suddenly calls him Shroud and says she's been waiting for his return. This makes him wonder if she has another man in her life. Meanwhile, Glenn meets a girl named Jessica, who presents him with a mysterious book. He instantly realizes its connection to a secret quest and asks where she found it. However, she refuses to disclose that information, explaining that she's an information merchant. Glenn concludes that not all secret quests are hidden within relics and instructs his assistant to store the book in the underground library. The festival finally arrives, and Alina watches the fireworks with joy. Jade, seeing her in this moment, realizes that beneath her tough exterior, she's actually an innocent girl. He finds her cute, but when he comments on it, she tells him not to be weird and insists they should focus on enjoying the festival. Meanwhile, Lily arrives at the guild's underground prison, intending to meet Aiden, but La suggests they should go to the festival instead. She reminds him that she didn't ask for his company, but he warns that she won't have a proper conversation with Aiden, as he still blames her for their party's downfall. However, Lily confesses that she also holds herself responsible, believing that everyone died due to her failure. La reassures her that her past doesn't define her because the Silver Sword believes in her. She recalls how, when she first joined the group, La and Jade warmly welcomed her. Though she acknowledges their kindness, she fears that her incompetence will lead to their deaths, making her contemplate leaving the party. Elsewhere, Alina is having a great time indulging in festival food, feeling as if she's finally regained her freedom and dignity as a worker. As she continues eating, Jade wonders how she isn't gaining weight, considering she never stops eating. She explains that her rapid metabolism is due to constant stress. She then suggests they visit the main square, where merchants are selling desserts. Jade offers to hold her hand so they don't get separated in the crowd, but she refuses, stating she wants to eat while walking. However, she suddenly falls silent as she recalls how he helped her finish her paperwork, making her realize she owes him. Misunderstanding her reaction, Jade rushes off to buy medicine, but she grabs his hand and reminds him that he made it possible for her to enjoy the festival. Sincerely, she thanks him for his help. Back in the underground prison, Lily apologizes to Aiden. He reveals that after losing his party, he became obsessed with getting stronger. He believed that his cigarette skill would eventually manifest, allowing him to remain a tank despite losing an arm. However, when he found out that Lily had joined the Silver Sword, he was furious, convinced that she didn't deserve to be an elite adventurer. Determined to surpass her, he resolved to obtain a dire skill by any means necessary, vowing to use it to get revenge. Aiden is determined to eliminate Lily to avenge his fallen party, but La advises her to stop engaging with him, as he refuses to listen. As they walk away, Aiden calls her a murderer. Later, Hates appears before Aiden, using a key to free him. He informs Aiden that their friend will create chaos at the festival, providing the perfect opportunity for their escape. Meanwhile, Jade and Alina stroll through the main square and notice a mage performing for the crowd. Suddenly, he unleashes his ice spells, attacking everyone. Alina, furious that he is ruining the festival, summons her hammer. The mage instantly recognizes her as the executioner, but before he can react, she blasts him away. She angrily declares that she worked overtime just to attend the festival and threatens to kill him for ruining it. She then smashes him with her warhammer. La tells Lily it's time to leave, but before they can go, they spot Hates with Aiden. Hates reveals that he stole a book from the guild's library, and upon opening it, a bright light emerges, displaying a secret quest. The quest directs him to defeat the bosses in a hidden dungeon near the lake in the Forest of Eternity. Accepting the quest, he instructs La and Lily to retrieve the Silver Sword so they can meet the Dark God together. Using his skill, he teleports away. Alina, feeling down, believes the festival has been cancelled, but Jade reassures her that it will continue since the culprit has been caught. Before they can relax, La and Lily arrive and urgently inform Jade that Hates plans to resurrect the Dark God. Jade tells Alina to stay and enjoy the festival while they handle the crisis, but she insists on joining them to ensure they all return safely. The group heads to the hidden dungeon and reaches the boss's chamber, only for Hates and his followers to suddenly appear. La immediately attacks them with his ice spell, but Hates knows he won't kill them, as the Dark God requires human souls within the dungeon to be revived. Instead, La decides to freeze them, but one of Hates' allies uses a self-destruct skill to allow the others to escape. Hates reveals that everything is proceeding as planned, confirming his ultimate goal of reviving the Dark God. Jade demands to know why he would want such a thing, and Hates explains that his skill is useless in battle, only good for fleeing. He resents that others were gifted with superior abilities, and a man in black told him he could destroy the world if they resurrect the Dark God. Determined to see this vision through, he fully commits to the plan. However, before Hates can continue, the Dark God Vienna suddenly stabs him from behind, calling him a creep. Her twin, Fina, appears, and together they declare their intent to feast on the humans. Jade is stunned to realize there are two of them. The twins activate their deer skills, summoning their bows and preparing to fire. Lily quickly uses her regeneration skill on Jade, but Fina, finding him attractive, declares she wants to consume his soul. She fires an arrow at him, but Alina swiftly intercepts and destroys it. She then crushes their bodies, yet she senses no impact. To everyone's shock, the twins regenerate instantly. They smugly reveal that their existence is bound together as one, making them impossible to defeat. But before the battle can continue, the video ends. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.